Hello! Welcome back to another FoxyNoTail live stream here over on YouTube. We're doing a bit of a different one today. I did one of these on my Twitch channel a little while ago where we were making an add-on live on the internet. And today I wanted to do that on YouTube because this is an add-on that everybody's asked for from the beginning of time. And it's something that I've now figured out how to do. So we're going to go through the process of making an add-on, which is vertical slabs, and hopefully they're going to work just like we would expect them to, without any, without any issues. Well, hopefully. So, yeah. Hello. How are you all doing? Pamela Gage is here saying, Foxy, how's your day? Well, so far it's going okay. Not too bad. It's early for me. It's 9:30, but I've been busy. To be honest, the only thing in 1.19 I'm interested in is the death compass, says Old Guy. Oh, amazing. Phantom X says he wouldn't do a tutorial about it if he was about to make them add-on. He already done. No, I haven't done it. I haven't even started. I'm doing it in this live stream. That's what this live stream is about, is making it. And you can follow along if you want, but it will be available on my website. Probably not like immediately after it's finished because I haven't made it yet, but today probably. A little girl says, is there any technical reason why vertical slabs aren't a feature of the base game? I guess it's something Mojang doesn't want to do. I don't know why, but yeah, let's figure it out. But before we do that, I just want to show off a couple of things that I've been doing this week, which kept me up all night. Sunday night, I went to bed and I couldn't sleep because I had an idea and I had to get up. So I just got up and started working on these add-ons. And these are basically block layers, which we need a stone cutter for. And also placeable items, which we'll need a crafting table for. And some slime balls. So, let's get cracking showing you what these do then. So, the stone cutter, if we grab ourselves, and this is important for today's live stream, by the way. I'm not just showing off. All these things are important because they're going to go into what we're doing today. So, if I grab some dirt and some gravel and some sand. Not sad. I want sand. Don't want to be sad. And I go onto the stone cutter. I can put them in the stone cutter. I can get 8 dirt layers. I can put the gravel in. I can get 8 gravel layers. I put the sand in and I can get 8 sand layers. And then these just work like any other layers, like the snow layers. You can just place them in the world and you can make layers with them. And they work just like snow layers, apart from they won't melt. And you can put them wherever you want, effectively. So that's one of the things. This add-on's available on my website already. Still big face. That's a good point. Well done. I do recall if they stated that... Oh, hang on a minute. Bled says, I do recall they stated that if vertical slabs would ruin the creativity of building or something along those lines. Well, I'm not sure about that, but maybe that is their stance on it. The other one that is going to feature in today's video, or some of the stuff we're going to steal from it, is... placeable items. So not blocks, but any item in the game apart from tipped arrows and potions, just because they're very complicated. You can craft with a slime ball. Apparently not enchanted golden apples either. Might have to fix that one. You can craft with a slime ball in order to make that into basically a placeable item, which you can then place on the floor or on any surface. And then, just like an item frame, you can rotate those as well. So they're placeable on absolutely any surface, and depending on the surface you click on, will depend on the orientation of where it places, which is, what we're going to be needing to work with if we're on about having vertical slabs. Magnus Borson says, oh my, I love you for this. Again, this one is available to download from my website already. That's already out, and I put an update out to it this morning because there were a few issues. And the reason for that is because... well, this add-on's not as easy as it sounds. It would be great if what we could do is just grab an item frame, make it invisible, and then put an item in it. But because of the way this works, what I've had to do is create every single item in the game as its own custom geometry with its own texture. So, just to give you a brief idea of what that looks like, if I open up Blockbench for a moment, and if I grab... I just have to try and find my files for that now. Bear with me one moment. Not that one. I want that one there. If I grab let's say, an apple item and put it into Blockbench. No, that's not going to work because that's a block. I need the geometry, not that. Let's try that again. So if I grab an apple geometry item and put it into blockbench, you can see that this apple is actually made up of lots and lots and lots of individual blocks. And then the texture that it uses is basically, I wrote a script to create all these. I didn't have to do it myself. The texture is just these colors. So it reads the original, what it does is it reads the original item file, like the item texture, works out what colors are in that one and where those colors are in terms of the pixel grid, creates all of these blocks for that, and then assigns the UV of those blocks to the right color in the pixel grid. So I've been able to run a script to basically do that for every single item texture in the game. Now, there's quite a bunch of issues with items in Minecraft in terms of the naming isn't consistent. So there were a few issues with like diamond hose becoming diamond axes and things like that. But I think I fixed that all this morning. So if you do find issues like that with that pack, then let me know and I'll try my best to fix those. But we're not too worried about that pack today. We just want to steal some stuff from it. So I suppose we should probably get cracking. Oh, Guy says, can you make 3D rails and trapdoors, etc.? No, unfortunately, with the add-on system, you can make custom blocks, but you can't edit vanilla blocks. So, yeah, that would be great, but no. So, again, we're not going to be affecting vanilla slabs today. We're going to be making brand new slabs that we will craft just like you do normal slabs, either on a stone cutter or in a crafting table. And I've got a workspace set up here in my favorite editor, which is... what's it called? Visual Studio Code, and I'm probably going to have to zoom in a little bit, which I can't really remember how to do, because last time everyone said it was too small. Was it the plus button? There we go. So make it nice and big for you all. So what we're going to do is start from the beginning. From where do codes of add-ons? Says Survivor Gamers. Pamela Gay says, oh boy, I've been doing big block statues in my world, and how do I get that block grid? Use blockbench. You can't make blocks more than a full cube either now. You used to be able to make custom blocks however big you wanted, but they can only be a full block size or less now, which is a bit of a shame. So the first thing we're going to need is the manifest files for this to read it, and I'm just going to steal those from, these are the add-ons I've been working on lately, so I'll just go to my block layers one. I'm just going to grab the manifest file out of that. I'm going to put it in there. I'm going to grab the manifest file out of the resource pack for that one. And if I can copy it, and I'm going to put it in there, and then we're just going to edit those for this. So I'm just going to make those look a little bit nicer by using a shortcut in Visual Studio Code, which is Shift, Alt, and F. No, not Shift, Alt, and F. Control, Alt, and F. If I'm clicking in the right place. No, I've forgotten the shortcut already. It is Shift, Alt, and F. I knew it was. Don't know why they were lying to me. Right, manifest. So we're going to be doing version 1, and this is going to be vertical slabs. And it's version 1, and it's version 1, and it's version 1, and it's version 1, and then we just need to give these new UUIDs. So I'm going to hit F1, I'm going to type in UUID, and it'll just bang in a new one of those for me. And there as well. And rather than doing all of that again for the other one, I'm just going to copy and paste that in there. Change data to resources. Going to grab the UUID from the top, put it at the bottom, grab the bottom one, put it at the top, and then just change this one in the middle so that's unique. And now we got the manifest. So that should be technically a working pack now. So now we're going to need the blocks, I guess. So let's make a folder in the behavior pack folder called blocks. And then we need to put a block in there. So let's start with stone slabs, because that's going to be nice, easy. So we'll call it stone slab vertical .json. And again, I'm just going to go to my block layers. No, I'm not actually. I'm going to go to the placeable items blocks, if I can go in the right folder. This is difficult for me because it's all so big. I'm used to working in smaller, so it's hard to see. I don't want block layers, I want placeable blocks. So we're going to grab any old block out of there, and we're going to stick it into here, and I'm going to make that look a bit nicer as well. And I'm going to... I didn't need to do that, actually. I'm just going to put it over to that side of the screen, get rid of that, and then we're just going to basically copy all of that and paste it into our new one. And then we're going to edit it, and I'll go through what each of the things do. So we're going to call it Stone slab vertical. So it matches what we got over here. Don't need that anymore. I'll get rid of that. And then we got all of these rotations and face rotations and all this sort of stuff going on. So the way that custom blocks work, the custom blocks, which you need the holiday creator features on to make it work, is you can give your block a geometry, so a shape, and that can be made of all of the different blocks as we saw for the placeable items. You give it a texture, and then you can give it quite a few components, not as many as you could do with an entity. So you can't like move it around and teleport it like you could an entity, but you can do a reasonable amount with it. And the way you do that is with these things called properties. So you can set up as many properties as you want. Now we do want rotation because we want the slabs to be able to face on any direction, but we only want 4 rotations because we're not going to be placing them on the floor as horizontal slabs. We're not going to be placing them on the ceiling as top slabs. We're going to be placing them on the wall sides of things. So I'm just going to make this a little bit tidier, and I'm going to put in rotation 0, 1, 2, and 3, and that's 4 rotations. In fact, just to make things simple, let's make it 1, 2, 3, 4. It really doesn't matter. As long as these are numbers, you can put whatever you want in there. The next thing is we need to tell it what geometry it needs to be, and that means we need to make some slab geometry. So there's a default geometry here we've got in components, but we're also going to be having permutations, which is basically different variations of that block. So for instance, if it was a wooden log, the wooden log would have different permutations depending on which way it was facing when you placed it, and that's how you can do the rotation, and that's exactly basically what we're going to be doing here. So the basic one is just going to be, we're going to call it stone slab vertical again, and the texture we're going to have as stone slab vertical there as well, just to keep all of the naming stuff nice and easy. Then we got collisions. So you can set up a different collision to what entities will have to where your pickaxe will be. So if you want to break it, for instance, you can have a different collision box for where your pickaxe will be able to hit compared to like an entity. If you don't want it to have any collisions, you want things to be able to walk through it, then you can just like take that out completely. But again, I'm just gonna tidy these up a little bit because I don't like when I when I format the JSON code, it does all of this because it makes the page very difficult to read. But we need to think about what size our slabs are going to be, and also is that going to change when we have double slabs, vertical double slabs, and when we change the orientation, which it will. So, or when we change what side of the block it's stuck to effectively. So we're going to have to come back to this in a minute after we've done a little bit of blockbench stuff for the modeling and figure out exactly what they should be. Ralph says, Cubs, Foxy has updated nearly all of his add-ons for 1.19. Yeah, today I got a big script for pretty much nearly all of my add-ons are in there now, not quite all of them, and I just run that and it updates them all for you automatically, and then I post them to the website. I really want that bridge add-on maker for Bedrock, but I only have a mobile device, says Red Trees Apples. I believe they've got it online now, like an online app, so I think you can use it on mobile, but I don't really like Bridge, to be honest with you. It's great for people that just want to dabble with add-ons, that don't want to delve into all of this stuff, but I find it adds a lot of bloat that we don't really want, and I find it difficult to actually see what I'm doing with it. Right, the next component is the block light filter. So with custom blocks, you can actually get them to emit light, or you can get them to filter light out. So if you want like if you got a wall of custom blocks and you want them only to block half the amount of light, you could put a block light filter of 7 in there, or if you put it up to 15, it will block all of the light. Now I want this to work like Bedrock slabs do. So when it's just a half slab, I want it to not block any light, so we can do lighting behind them. But when it's a full block, when it's a full double slab, I want it to block the light then. So again, we're going to be using the permutations for that. When you've got an on player placing event, so basically it will detect when the players actually place the block, and that will fire an event, which all of the events and stuff like that can be listed down here, and then you can basically change your block properties with that event. So what this does is it goes, okay, Foxy's placed the block, which block face has he placed it against, and then we can actually work out which block face it was in order to rotate the block in the right direction, which is how the placeable items work. There's also an on interact we're not going to be using. That allowed me to spin those placeable items round on the spot, but we're not going to be spinning the slabs round. However, we will need to interact while holding another slab of the same type in order to make it a double slab. So we will have that, but it's not going to go there. It's going to go into the permutations, which you'll see later on. And then we need loot tables. We need the loot tables so that when you break it, you actually get it back. But again, that's going to be in the permutations because we need to drop 2 slabs when we break a double slab and only 1 slab when we break a single one, which means we need 2 loot tables. So we're going to get rid of that from there as well. And then we're going to go into these permutations, and this is a whole mess because it's got all of the other stuff in there we don't need. The first thing I'm going to do is get rid of the spinny roundy bits. We don't need those. And then we can get rid of a couple of these because we don't need those. So these permutations are basically going to say we need 1 to 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we can get rid of that last one there. If the block property, which is the top block properties here that we set, is 1, then it's going to rotate the model on a certain axis in order to make it face the right way. Now, I don't know what those are going to be yet. That's going to be a little bit of trial and error as we get going on. So I'm going to leave them as they are for now, but they're probably going to be wrong, which means the slabs are going to be all over the place. But hopefully they won't be. And then this face rotation one we're not going to need. However, we are going to need some more events to actually create double slabs and things like that. But I'm going to get to that once we're going to get single slabs working first, and then we'll get double slabs working. So that'll do for now. It's not perfect. It's not right. We're just going to save that. And then we're going to need some textures and geometry. So in my vertical slabs resource folder, I'm going to create a new folder called models. And in that one, I'm going to make a new folder called blocks. And that's where our geometry is going to be. I'm going to make another new folder called textures. And we're going to need another new folder in there as well called texts, which is going to have our language file in it, which actually allows us to name the blocks. Deruza says, so is this likely to be added to TB, Truly Bedrock? No, because we, generally speaking, will only add things on that like I put the placeable items one on there because it's not really... It's not helping you in game at all, you know. It's not affecting the game. It's less modded and just more a bit of a vanilla tweak, if you like. So, yeah, these sorts of things probably wouldn't make it onto Truly Bedrock. So, block geometry. Oh, there's a few other files we're going to need as well. So, let's concentrate on those for a second. We need a file called blocks.json, and we need to put that in the vertical slabs resource file. And we need a file called terrain texture, and we're going to put that in the textures folder. And what these do is these actually determine what textures your blocks have and how they link to your block. So you can see we've got FXNT dirt layer there. So that was the dirt layer block. So what we're going to have to do is go to our stone slab vertical, and the identifier for that is FNT stone slab vertical. So we're going to change that bit to that, and then we're just going to put in there the textures stone slab vertical. Isotropic we don't want true because we don't want the texture to spin around, and the sound is going to be stone because that's the sound we want it to make when we work with it. And then we need to go into the terrain texture, and this basically actually links those ones. So these names here link back to these ones here, which actually link to the texture. So it's quite complicated and convoluted, but that's how it works. So we're going to put stone slab vertical there, and we're going to have a texture which is stone slab vertical in our textures folder, but we haven't made that yet. And that texture is probably just going to be the stone slab texture if we can get away with it. So I guess the first thing we're going to need to do is actually make some block geometry. So we're going to open blockbench. I'm going to do the bedrock model. We're going to call it stone slab vertical, and we're going to call it stone slab vertical for the identifier there. The texture size can be 16 by 16, I believe, for stone slabs because they don't have different faces, and we're just going to make that. And all I'm going to do now is I'm going to steal the stone slab actual words texture and stick that in there so that we can work with that. So I'm going to just go into, on a different screen that you can't see, a textures folder for the actual Minecraft pack or version, and then I'm just going to steal that. So I think it will just actually be stone. In fact, we can check this out. Let's go back to our workspace here. If I actually go to 1.19, this is the data directory for the 1.19 version, and if I go to data there, resource packs, textures, and terrain texture, and we look for slab, we can actually see that, oh, the stone slab top, they do have tops, bottoms, and sides. But they're probably, oh, I thought they would have different textures. I thought they would just be stealing from the actual stone textures, but they're not. So I need to find those textures and stick them in our textures folder, which I'm going to do to the other screen, which is annoying for you guys, but there's not a lot I can do about that. Vertical slabs, textures, stick them in there. So let's close that for a second, close that for a second. Don't want to save that, and go to our textures file now. In vertical slabs, and you can see I've just added 2 textures in there, which are, oh, that's the smooth stone slab, which I didn't want. I want to do the actual stone slab first. So that's probably just using the stone texture. So if I pop that into there, there we go. We've got normal stone texture now. We can steal that one. So let's go back to blockbench. Now I've lost the chat because all my screens are in the way. And now I need to be able to see half of it. Right. I'm going to stick the stone texture in there. I'm going to make a new cube. In fact, I'm going to make a new folder, and this is going to be called root. So that's the root of our block. And inside the root folder, we're going to have our cubes. And the first one is going to be 16 by 8 by 16. And that's going to be a slab size. And we need to position that in the middle like that. And we need to make sure it's on the floor. Oh, no, it's -8 and -8 because it's a full block size that we need the position to be. And then we need to tell it what textures to use where. Now, we've only got a single texture file like this. We're not using a full block texture, but we can go to this button up here and we can change the UV mode to per face, which means we can actually tell it, each different face, what texture we want to use and how we want to use it. So, for instance, I can drag this down here and I can get half of that because it's a bottom slab effectively on there, and I can do the same thing for each face. So I click maximize UV, drag it down to half, same on each of the side ones like that. And then the top and bottom is just going to be the full one. So we got the maximize there and the maximize there, and now we've got half a stone slab. But obviously that half a stone slab is a horizontal slab and we want vertical slabs. So we need to rotate it, which is pretty easy. Or we could actually change the geometry so it was going the other way around, but I'm going to rotate it, and I'm going to do that by clicking on the root. And I don't want to rotate the X, I want to rotate, I don't know which way to do this. I don't know whether it's better to use the Z. I'm going to go for the Z, and we're going to do 90 degrees, and then we need to position it so it's in the right place because it wants to be on that side of the block. So now we've got a vertical half slab. I think there's a pixel files in Bedrock tweets, says Jones Leonard. Loving all the talk of rotation, says Rotated Face. Asking for a friend, if you want a code for the first time, how would you do it? Slow and patiently. Mr. Beardstone's here, hello, saying, what witchcraft you up to now, Foxy? You spoil us. I'm making vertical slabs, Mr. B. Everyone's wanted them, so I'm making them. Okay, we got a half slab, and obviously we need to save that, so I'm going to put it in my vertical slabs folder. I'm going to put it in models, blocks, and that's going to be stone vertical slab geo, so that's in there. But we also need a double slab geometry as well, because we want it to have 2. We want it to have half, and then the other one when it's a full one. So all we got to do for that is make it a full block size. And now it's going to be in the wrong place. And then we need to change the UVs so that they fit the whole thing. Or we could have, I don't know the best way of doing this. We could double it up effectively. I don't think we need to. I think I'm trying to overcomplicate things, but oh my goodness, I just want to copy it. We could double it up that way and then just change these south and northeast and west textures so that they're at the right part of the block. Potentially, that would work, but I don't think we need to do it. Yeah, we're going to not do that. We're going to just make it bigger. So let's get rid of that and let's extend this and just make it a bigger block, and then just move it into place, and then change the textures so that they're all full face textures. Now, we've got to be careful we don't overwrite the other block here because we've already saved one. So we want to save this one separately. So I'm going to go to File, Export, Bedrock Geometry. And I'm going to go into the same folder and I'm just going to call this Full. Oh, full with an E on the end, apparently, because I'm a moron. Let's go back into that and we can see now in our vertical slabs. Oh my goodness, so many folders. Vertical slabs, models. We've got the full and we've got the half. Now what I can do as well, just to make life a little bit easier, is I can take the full one out of there. I can get everything from within the Minecraft geometry bit, copy it, and I can put it in here. So if I put a comma there, I can put it in there. And now we've got both of those in the same thing. And we just need to change the actual geometry name to full so that they can tell the difference between themselves. And now we've got two geometry files in the same file, which is going to be better for us going forward. So now I can delete that vertical one. And now I can tell the block that I want to use this geometry. So I'm going to go back to our block. I'm going to put the geometry file reference in there. And we need to find out what we called our textures as well, because I can't remember. We called it stone slab vertical, so which is what we've got in there. So that's good. So technically, although it probably won't work, we might already be able to use blocks. So let's go into a brand new world and figure it out. Error, wrong spelling, says Pamela Gage. That's the story of my life. Vertical slabs. I'm going to go into creative. We do need an experiment on. I'm going to put show coordinates on. We're going to put holiday creator features, which should be out of experimental by now because it's been in there for years. And of course, I'm going to put it on always day, turn off mob spawning, turn off the weather cycle just so that we're not going to get interfered with. I'm going to turn off multiplayer and I'm going to add my brand new vertical slabs pack into the world, which should have added the resource pack as well. And when I click create, we're probably going to get a handful of errors, but we'll see. It might not. It might all be good. Be very unusual if it was. It was. We're in a swamp. Of course we are. I don't want to be in a... Oh my goodness. We've got no land. No land to play. Well, I guess we're going to do all of our testing here then. Let's just set the world spawn on this spot here so that we don't keep spawning in the water. Now I need to give myself those slabs. Give at S stone slab vertical, and you can see we've already got a texture issue, but when I put it down, it's not facing in the right direction. And the hitbox, as you just saw because I hit the floor, was broken, but we kind of got it. So you can see here the hitbox for that, you can almost just work out is in totally the wrong place, and that was to do with that collision that we talked about a minute ago. So I just want to see if I put it in there, is it actually going to change? Oh geez, I've got to kill it. No, the orientation. It kind of does. Oh man. Right, let's fix the blocks. So the pick collision needs to be the actual size of the block. So we can go to our block geometry, which we got here. That's not the right one. That's my layered block geometry. We need to be in our actual folders. There we go. And we need to figure out what it is. So the origin and size are there, and that's just going to match up with exactly what we've got going on here. So the pick block collision is there, and we want the entity collision to be exactly the same, but that's not going to change when we rotate the block, because obviously when we rotate the block, we're going to need that to change as well. So it might do actually. We'll figure it out. Let's go back in the game and see if that helps us actually destroy these blocks. Little known fact, Foxy meant his name to be FoxyNoTail, says Chris. That's not a little known fact at all. It's total nonsense. So now we can actually hit the blocks, although you can see the block is laid down. That's weird. Because it's rotating based on how we're placing it. Okay, let me just go up against this tree for a second. Put it there. And now it has the right... Ooh, I didn't want to do that. Oh, jeez. I'm so confused. Yeah, the hitbox is wrong there. The hitbox is wrong there. The hitbox is wrong there. And the hitbox is wrong there. Why is it like that? Why? Okay, but that does mean the hitboxes are rotating with our blocks, so that's a good thing. So now what we need to do is tell it that we don't want it to be able to place on the floor or on the ceiling. We only want it to be able to be placed against other blocks. So now I'm going to go back to my block layers one, because I got that in there. And in here, there's a thing called allowed faces. And you can also tell it what blocks it's allowed on as well, but there's no way of telling it what blocks it's not allowed on. So you'd have to list every single block in the game if you wanted to decide you didn't want it to be placed on one type of block. So I'm going to put that in here. And I don't want up or down, I just want north, south, east and west. And again, I'm going to tidy that up because it's a mess. So now I won't be able to place it on the wrong block. Or the wrong bit, if you like. Now, going back to... Get rid of that comma before it all breaks. Going back to our event. So when we're placing it, it's detecting what block face we're putting it on. And then it's going to give us... Basically, that gives us a number. And the numbers are... If you've got 1, it's... Oh, let me get bedrock.dev up so I can remember this. Bedrock.dev, one of the best websites in the world for all this sorts of stuff. If we go to blocks there, and we can go on... Where am I find? Yeah, player. No, we want block face. So we actually don't want blocks, we want Molang. So block face will return 0 for if you place it on the floor, so down. 1 if you place it above you. In fact, that's wrong. So up is the top of a block and down is the bottom of a block. So 0 if you place it on the block above. 1 if you place it on the block below. North is 2, south is 3, west is 4, 5 is east, and then you get 6 if it doesn't know. So these are the numbers we're interested in, is 2, 3, 4, and 5. But we've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. So there's a couple of things we could do. Is we could just change these to 2, 3, 4, and 5, which might be the sensible thing to do, or we could do a little bit of maths, but I'm going to do the sensible thing here. But if I change those there, I also need to change these here as well, so it all matches up. And now we need to figure out what way we're going to rotate this when it's on the floor. So I need to grab my item again, which I can't. Where's my folders gone? I don't want thumbnails for my YouTube videos. There we go. So I need to open that geometry again, which I'm just going to drag in there. I want the half slab one for now. And when we place it, we're going to be spinning it on that way, like that. So that's how it's going to be spinning, but we can only do it in 90-degree angles. So when we're placing it on the north, we actually want the rotation to be 90. So if north is that way, we want 90, or it might be the other way around. So let's start from there and see how we get on. And notice, which is quite annoying, this goes north, south, west, east. It would be better for me if it went north, east, south, west, because then your rotation is going to match, but we're going to have to work with that. So going back to our block properties here, let me just tidy all of this up again. You can see all of these rotations are completely wrong because they were set up for other things. We're going to not change either of those, and we're going to put 90 on there. So then we're going to have, so that's north. South would probably be minus 90, I guess. East would likely be 180, and west, although I think it was west then east, would be minus 180, I guess. I'm totally guessing. This could completely go wrong, but we'll find out. Let's go back into our vertical slabs and find out. Tulsa MC says, you speak in the language of gods. I don't know about that. So now when we can't place it on the floor anymore because it's a vertical slab. We have to place it against a wall. So if I place it there, it's in the wrong way. If I place it there, that was right. If I place it there, that was wrong. And if I place it there, that was wrong. So we managed to get it right on one face. However, the block the collision box is still totally wrong for some reason. So we're going to have to work with that in a minute. I don't know how it's got a collision to be horizontal. And that'll be why, because we rotated it, didn't we? Yeah. I'll tell you what, let's make life a bit easier for... Oh, no, I'm not going to make life easier for myself. I'm going to make life hard, but the size of our block then is actually... It's 8... and 16. Is it 8 on that axis? I can't remember. We'll figure it out together. That's why we're here. Complicated Minecraft already done, says Slob. Slob? Why do I call you Slob? Oh dear. Rough, not Slob. Where did I get Slob from? I think... Did I read someone else's name instead of yours? Oh man, and all the origins are gonna be off. Oh geez, let's figure this out. Let's just make a new block here. And I want to make this one without any rotation, but do the same thing. Let's just put that rotation back to 0. So if I make that 8 by 16. Oh yeah, and then bring that down to there. That's basically what we want. So it's minus 8, 0, 8, 8, 16, 16. We want pivot point 0. Gee, so minus 8, 0, minus 8, 8, 16, 16. I'm sure we had that already. Ah, no, I didn't put 0 in the middle. There we go. That's why it didn't like it. I think that being able to place the slabs on the ground would make them easy to build with, says It's Magma Man. Well, we'll get to that later. I just want to make them actually rotate in the right directions first. So now, although the hitbox is on the wrong side, because we're going to need to actually rotate... Oh my goodness. Rotate that as we place the blocks as well. Let's actually get them lined up in the right place. So if I place it on that wall, it's... Oh, geez. Fine. I place it on that one, nothing. That's exactly the same. They're all going the same way for some reason. I'm not 100% sure why. What? It's telling me I got an error somewhere. Oh, I put this down here. I didn't want that. This is complicated and I can't... It's hard doing this on the stream. Gotta love 3D maths. I should love it being both a maths and computer game, but I can't say it's fun, so Sam just said, yeah, it hurts my brain, this sort of stuff. This is where I fall to pieces, and you're going to witness that live on stream. Okay. Right, we're going to move the collisions and stuff like that. We're going to leave them there for now, but we're going to put them also in the in these orientation-y bits as well, so that we can actually change the collision of the block depending on which way it's facing. So when we've got it on 90 degrees, like that. Oh my goodness me. Like that? No? Oh, of course. I'm a total moron. We need to actually change the orientation on the X. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, we might not need to move those. Let's get rid of those. Get rid of that. Let's put 90 in the middle. Because this isn't changing the geometry. This is actually changing... This is where this whole system for me falls down. I would prefer it if these were actually changing the orientation of the geometry, but they're not. They're changing the orientation of the block as a whole, if that makes sense. And they can only go in 90-degree angles. Is that because original geometry is already rotated, says Eric Holbert? Maybe, but that shouldn't matter. Slob, jeez, says Roth. I'm sorry, Roth. I must have read someone's name while I was reading yours. There we go. On that wall, but the thing's in the wrong place. On that wall, and not on that wall. So we got 3 right. 1, 2, and 3 are right. That one, whichever direction that one is wrong. How have we managed to get 2 the same? Come on, anyone with a brain. Help me out here. Minus 180 should be 0. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. That's probably why we got 2 the same. Well done, Eric Obert. Someone with a brain. Minus 180 is 180. You're absolutely right. I know these things when I'm not streaming, I promise. There we go. So now, when we place it, although the hitbox is in the wrong place, it now places on all of the different sides. That's exactly what we wanted. Right, now we need to make the hitboxes move with them, which is going to be an absolute pain, but we can manage. I don't think I had to do this on my placeable items one. Let me just check the blocks for that. Let's just tidy that up a bit. See, I didn't have the hitbox moving on any of those, so maybe that's I've just got that set up slightly wrong. Let's move the hitbox to the other side. Where am I gone? Here. If I make the size 16 there, but 8 on the other side, that might work. Might work. I don't know. No, I don't want that. I want Minecraft. Still got no textures. And we've got no double slabs. We've got no loot tables. We've got no recipes. But we're getting there. We're getting there. How long we got? 45 minutes. Not too bad. No, it's still in the wrong place. What? Now it's totally the wrong place. What? Now it's coming off to the side. But it is rotating with them. So that's good news. but it is in the wrong place. So let's go back to... I don't want block bench. I've finished with you for now. I'll be back later. 16 there and 8 in the middle? That shouldn't be right, surely. That means it's 8 on the... No, that's not right. That's not right at all. It's got to be... Maybe it's the origin that's off. I'm sure it should be 8 there, because that's where we had it on our actual geometry. Oh no, because we're rotating it. Okay, maybe that was right then. Maybe it should be 8 in the middle. If I'd have just made the vertical slabs actually vertical in the geometry rather than rotating them, this probably would have been easier, but then it would have been a mess about with the textures because the textures wouldn't have lined up as nicely. You're the only reason I'm sticking on to Bedrock Edition, says somebody. No, they're flat now, so that's no good. So why are we getting it wrong? I'm going to put it back to how it was. Minus 16, minus 16, 8 and 8. That should work. That should be what it is. Oh, I guess it's probably 8 on the wrong size. Maybe we need to change the origin to the other side. Let's put the 8 on there instead. And then it's going to... That'll hopefully work. It's the origin in the center of the corner, says... I figured it out. Just figured it out. Set origin to 0 or 8. There we go. Now we got it right. So now you can't even see the lines now. If we get really close, maybe. But yeah, that's lining up now. So we're... No, it's not. What? What happened there? What? Why can I click through the box? Did I only change it on one? No. It appears to be exactly where it should be. I can't see them floating anywhere else. But I can't... What? Huh? What? Why can't I... What? Okay, I'm just going to go back to blockbench for a second. We got that as 8, 16 and 8. Okay, so that's on the wrong side, so maybe that should be 0 then. Whoever said 0, you're correct again. So we were pushing the collision box outside of the block, which I didn't think it would allow us to do. I thought it would have errored for that. So now hopefully it will work. Fingers crossed. Are we gonna... There we go. There we go. Right. Jeez, we'll get there in the end. Right, let's fix these textures and then let's work on loot tables and all that sort of stuff, and then we'll work on double slabs. Okay. So why is the textures not working? Let's figure it out. You and me together. Let's do this. So we've got texture stone slab vertical there. Let's go back to our blocks.json and let's go back to our terrain texture.json. No, that's the wrong one. No, it's not. Ah, oh, I think I edited the block terrain texture for the wrong file. I think I may have edited the terrain texture for either my block layers. Oh, geez, let me have a look. Block layers, terrain textures. Yes, I did. Okay, well, that's why it's not working then. Let's just switch those around. Back into there with you, and you come with me. Don't want me placeable blocks all broken, mate. There we go. So now, hopefully, the textures will work. This is the problem with having too many folders in your workspace. Will the new touch controls of MCPE can make Minecraft Bedrock Edition get left-hand in upcoming updates? Well, I have no idea. We'll see. No, still no textures. Great. Great. Textures, stone, slab, vertical. Is that where I've got it? Let's go back to our vertical slabs. Textures. No, I haven't put that in at all. Let's just put in stone. Because that's what we want. No, I don't want blockbench. Stop coming up with blockbench. Hitbox smaller than the block itself, says Alpha. No, I fixed it. I fixed it. Now it's a vertical stone slab. Okay, good. So we've got vertical stone single slabs. We need to give them a slab back when we break them, and we need to make them craftable in both the stone cutter and the crafting table. So let's just grab a crafting table and let's grab some stone. And let's try and get stone without monsters' eggs in it, because I always manage to get the wrong one when I'm in creative. And let's pop up here. And then the way you normally craft stone slabs is like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to have it like that, so that we can make stone slabs. So let's make a couple of recipes, and let's make a loot table. So back into our behavior packs folder, we need a new folder. We're going to call it loot tables. And we're going to need a new folder called recipes. And we're going to do some stealing again. We're going to go back to my block layers one. We're going to go to the loot tables there. We're just going to steal the dirt layer loot table. And we're going to go into the recipes, and we're going to steal the stone cutter dirt layer from there. And the other one we're going to have to make manually, because I haven't done a shaped crafting recipe in any of these packs, so we can't steal it. All right, let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. And let's get rid of those. And let's rename them. So we want stone, slab, jeez, vertical, single. So, and then we'll have the stone slab vertical double for when we've got a double slab. And we just need to change the name of the item that we're going to be giving back. Now, technically blocks aren't items, but blocks and items are completely interchangeable with Minecraft, which is good in some ways, but a bit of a problem in others. So we can go to stone slab vertical, copy that there, and we're going to get one back when we break that.
LP, subscribe to the channel.
Wow, we got a subscriber. Amazing. Woo, thank you very much. And then we need to go to the recipe for stone cutter dirt layer. Let's change the name to that. So stone cutter, stone, slab, vertical. Now, you don't have to name things like this. I just find it's easier for me to remember what's going on with them when... if I name them the way that I do. So for this shapeless crafting recipe, you can tag it as either stone cutter or crafting table or any of the workstations, but you have to have a tag. So this is for the stone cutter. We want to put in stone, and we want to get back this block. So we want to put in one stone, and we want to get two of those blocks, because you want two slabs for every block. So we can even, if you wanted to, you can put a count in there, but I don't think the count for the stone cutter is necessary. So that should work for that. But in order to do the crafting table stone slab vertical, we actually want a shaped crafting recipe, which means I believe we put shaped in there, but I'm going to have to go and refer to the block thingy in a moment. And we're also going to take stone cutter away from that. And the tags we want crafting table. And let's go and get my my good advice website. We'll go to recipes, and we want a shaped recipe. So I'll just make this bigger for you guys to see. The shaped recipe is recipe shaped at the top, which I kind of think we've got, maybe. Let's just slide these about so it's a bit easier to see. And let's just get rid of that so we can see. Now, I can't see. You've taken over the whole screen, mate. Go away. How do I get rid of that? There we go. Recipe shaped, that's right. Tags crafting table, that's right. Priority, I don't think it matters. I don't even know what the priority does for these things. But then we need a pattern. So the pattern is what's going to determine our shape rather than the ingredients. And then what we're going to do is paste that in there. Just organize that so it looks a little bit nicer. It's not letting me do it. There we go. And the pattern is going to be really simple. We just want 3 of the same item. So you can use any symbol to basically define the item. And then you tell it which items are which with the key. And we just want that to be Minecraft stone with a data value of 0, because the data value of 0 for stone means it's just normal stone. So now that should give us exactly the same thing, if I've done it right. It might not do, because I'm a moron. So the recipes don't need to be linked to the block, but the loot tables do. So now what we need to do is go back to our block, and we need to put a loot table in here. So I'm going to go to the bottom of our normal components, and I'm going to do Minecraft loot. No. And I believe I just put table in there and then link it to the loot table, but I'm going to copy and paste just so I don't get it wrong. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the super chat there. That is greatly appreciated. Right, vertical slabs, there's none on, but we do want them from the dirt layers, loot tables. Let's just, no, not the loot tables, the blocks. Let's just have a look at the dirt layer block. And
Jafar Narafi subscribe to the channel.
Woo, thank you very much for the subscription. We need to find the loot table. There we go, Minecraft loot. Oh, we don't even need the table in this one, so it's different to how entities work. So I'm just going to copy that, I'm going to paste that in there, and then loot tables is going to be stone, slab, vertical. Let's see if all of that works. Fingers crossed. I've probably made a mess of something, but we'll see. What does live, Foxy? Yes, Richard. I agree. Right, so we're going to need some stone. And you can see it's very easy to type when you've got a microphone directly above your keyboard. Very easy. Let's put some stone onto the crafting table. And there we go. We got some stone slabs. We get 2 for every one of those, which is amazing. And now let's grab a stone cutter. Let's put it on top of our crafting table. And let's put some stone in there. And you can see we got vertical slabs. They've got no names yet. We need to sort that out. But yeah, 2 for each one of those. So amazing. We can grab a whole bunch of the vertical slabs from those. That's fantastic. Hurrah! That worked nicely. What about the loot tables though? Do we get one back when we break it? Now this is where this pack is going to fall down a little bit. Because there's a thing that I believe should work but doesn't. And that is that there's no way to tell the game... Oh, we got one back. Broke the wrong one, but we got one back. Let's break it. And there we go. We got the item back, which is fantastic. There's no way to tell it which tool to use. Other than there is a bit in the block file. Let's just close all the other files so it's not too confusing. In the block file, you can have a thing called tags. And you can do tags or... tag... Is it tags or tag? Let me again go back to my dirt layer blocks and just cheat. Tag. So if you tag it with dirt, it should behave in the same way as dirt, i.e. if you use a shovel on it, it will mine faster than if you used a pickaxe on it. But it doesn't work. So I'm going to put tag stone in there anyway in the hopes that in a future update this will work. But the only control we've got over how quickly it actually breaks is the destroy time, but the destroy time doesn't care about what item you're holding. You could break it with a feather as quickly as you could with the haste 2 beacon. So we're going to put the destroy time to about 0.3, so it's not too quick. You'd have to intend to do it, but it won't matter what you're holding. So let's just go back to that again. It should give you 6 slabs, says Dustchan. Yes, you're right. In the crafted recipe, it should give you 6 slabs. Good thinking. Yeah, more on here. So now when I break it, it takes a second, but you're not going to accidentally come along and punch it and break it. But let me just show you what I mean. If I grab myself, I need to go into, no, just give myself one. Netherite, pickaxe, you can see it doesn't make any difference. It's going to be exactly the same, which is a bit of a shame. The only way you can do it is to make custom items because you can't affect the vanilla items in the game. So if I made a custom pickaxe, I could tell it that I would mine vertical slabs quicker than a custom shovel or something like that. But because we can't affect the vanilla ones, and I'm not interested in adding new tools into this pack, we're just going to have to put up with being able to break it with anything, which is a shame, but that's about it. Whoa, vertical slabs, you wouldn't dare. Mojang will be very upset if you can do what they can. Mojang can do it. They just don't want to. Right, okay, so we got that working. We are pretty much good to go on that then. Let's change that crafting recipe so that we're actually getting the right amount back. Well done for pointing that out. And it's not the stone cutter one, it's the other one. We want 6 back from the crafting recipe. There we go. So now we need to make it work with the double slab. So we need to make it double up when we click on it again, holding another slab. And this is confusing and complicated. So we need to have some more block properties and we need to have some more components. And I'm going to go back to my dirt layers one and cheat because I got all of this in here, which is fantastic. So you see, where are we? Oh, geez, it's very hard to see because it's right over on there on the screen. We should have a couple of events down here. We've got the increment layer, which actually obviously is what we use to place the dirt layers. And we've also got set solid on that one. The set solid is when it gets to the full block, it turns into an actual block, so you can break it as a full block. We don't want that on this one. We don't want when it's a double slab to break and give us a full block back. We want it to give us 2 slabs, but we do want this increment layer. So I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to slide that into our events down here. And when we run that, we need it to run a player sound, and we want it to do dig stone. Now, there is an actual play sound event you can run, but I can't get it working. So we're just going to use a command to run that, which means it's weird. The first time you do it, there's a slight bit of delay as it loads the sound, but then all subsequent ones after that are fine. So it's a bit glitchy, but it's fine. And then we need to get the layer properties. We don't need collision, but we do need we need to change a new block property. So we're going to have a new block property here, which is layers. It doesn't have to be layers. It can be whatever we want. But I'm going to put in there 1 and 2. So if it's a layer 1, it's a single slab. If it's layer 2, it's a double slab. And then we want to say that if the block property layer is 1, then we're going to make it 2. Otherwise, if it's 2, we don't want it to do anything. So we're just going to leave it at 2. So the other way we could do that is just to do the block property plus 1. But then if it goes to 3, it's going to get confused. So this is a little bit of basically maths. Well, it's not maths. It's logic that says the question mark basically says if that, then that, or that. So if it's 1, change it to 2. If it's 2, we don't want to go back to 1. So we're just going to leave it as 2. And now we need some more permutations for those new layers. So we're going to copy all of that one there, make a new one. And this is going to be if the block layer is 1. So if it's a single slab, then it's going to be a certain thing. And then if it's a double slab, it's going to be something else. And first thing we want in here is Minecraft on interact. Because we want to be able to interact with the single slab to make it a double slab. And again, we're going to go over to my dirt layers. And you can see we've got all of this stuff in here as well. And I need to go and grab the interact thing that we are going to be using, which is here. So let's steal that. I'm going to put that in there. And we're going to do FNT increment layer. So it's the same thing. And we're going to say, we're going to give it a condition, which means we want to be having something in our hand. So query or Q is item name any, slot weapon main hand. So if we got an item in our main hand, and is it Minecraft? Is it this item? Because we don't want to be able to use any item. We just want this one. Okay? So we don't want to be able to click on that with another type of slab or a feather and it increments it. We only want it to be able to do it with that. So when we interact with that block, when it's in its first state, it's going to run this event, increment layer. It's going to take away an item from the stack that we're holding with this decrement stack there, and it's going to change the block property to 2, which means we need one more condition here, which is condition 2, and this is where we're going to change the geometry to the full block. Now, this is where things could all go wrong. Oh, thank you very much for joining the membership. I was a support layer, support player, layers, blocks. Yeah, thank you. Foxy stealing from Foxy. Is that actually stealing? Yes, stealing. So now we need to go to the geometry that we've got at the top. And what we're going to do is pop that in here. And it was, what did we call it? We got the geometry. There's so many folders. We called it full. Okay, so we just called it full on there. So now it should change the geometry when it goes into the second layer. This might not work, but let's give it a go and find out. Magnus says, no, that's just 90% of being a dev. The join button finally came to my country. Oh, I'm very happy about that. So, okay, let's click on that with another block. And you can see it just places a block near it, as you would expect in Minecraft. Let's just go into creative so that I can actually break these things. And then if I click on it with another slab, nothing. Great. Thanks, game. Why not? Maybe I got it wrong. Did I put the right item? So it's FXNT stone slab vertical is the item. Let's just make sure we got that right on the on here. No, it wasn't. I put FNT. Look, it needs to be FXNT. So there we go. And we want these as FXNT as well. Our namespaces all need to be the same. And I've made a big mess of it all because I've been copying and pasting from ones that clearly have different namespaces in. So now, hopefully, unless I've missed one, it should be good to go. Nothing's ever easy, isn't it? Says Simbrit. Nothing is ever easy. Can you make vertical stairs? How does... Oh, yeah, I guess you could, yeah. Yeah. Ah, now, it says failed to set the state, but did you hear it made the sound? So let's just put one down. Well, I can't put one on the floor, can I? We decided we're not allowed to do that. We'll change that in a minute. We can hear the sound, but it's not doing anything. So we've still got a problem somewhere. Failed to set the block's state, which I guess is this thing here. And again, look, I got the wrong thing there. What a moron. Wrong namespace again. Another FNT, says Magnus. Absolutely. Let's try again. Oh, there we go. Now the hitbox needs to change as well, because at the moment there's only a hitbox, did you see, on half of it, which obviously we need to change. So I can't break that bit, but there we go. We now got a way of making double slabs. The texture goes a bit weird as well, so we need to consider why that is. But so far, not too bad. Again, Foxy, the texture needs to be horizontal on the vertical slab to match the full blocks. But that's why we rotated it, Roth. Oh, I see what you mean. Yes. Oh, geez. Oh, in that case, we need to go back to the drawing board then and do the whole thing on an angle. Jeez. Let's not worry about that right now. Let's just change the collision to the full size when it's in that mode. So I'm going to grab those collision things, put them in here. So this is when it's on block state 2, and we just want these to now be a full block, which means we need to actually get this right. And I know how to do it for a full block, so this is good news. So now... Childish Soap says, hello, Foxy. Hello. Making complicated vertical slab in Minecraft, just combine them to do a full block. That's Foxy. So there we go. Now when we do it, you can see it goes to a full block. But Roth is right, because we need to change the orientation. I think, maybe. Actually, maybe not, Roth. Maybe not. Let's just try this with a smooth stone one. Now we've got that 100% working. We have a vertical slab, which we can have... I don't know if we can click and hold and place. I don't think that'll work on these. No, it's not letting me place at all. Why are you not letting me place? I did it a second ago. Oh, because I can't place on top of the bottom. Let's change that then. Let's change to... In fact, we'll just get rid of the conditions for where we're allowed to place it, and we'll just allow it placed on any angle. That does mean, though, that this is going to give us... We need to change our event here, because it's going to be able to give us block faces that don't exist. So we need to say query block face equals something that's not one we want. Oh, geez, this is going to be interesting. There is another way of doing this. We can put in the extra block faces here and then just... Yeah, in fact, I'm going to do that. So we're going to have 0, 1 on the rotation there. And then we're going to tell this condition that if it's less than or equal to 2. And that way, it's going to use that orientation regardless of what you've done with it. Which might be a problem. Because... Diagonal slabs next, I guess, says William. Yeah, no thanks. If you mind a vertical block where its full block drops 2 vertical slabs. Yeah, I haven't done that yet. You're right, I haven't done the loot table. If I add those on top, they're not going to know which way round to go because they can't detect what the orientation of the block below is, which is a bit annoying. But that's just a limitation of vertical slabs, I guess. So, yeah. A little bit annoying. How are we going to do... I think there is a way of detecting what block is on top of or below, but I don't know what information we can get from that. So let's just go to bedrock.dev a second, and let's have a look. Let's just make the zoom the right size so I can actually read it. And we want the Molang stuff. And we need a query to detect what blocks is below. Now, I'm not going to do this in this stream because I just want to know if it's possible, because it'd be very complicated, I think. But let's go down to the list of queries. And just scroll through. I spend my life scrolling through this website. My guess is you would have to completely remake vanilla slabs to fix this, but it's possible to make it so slabs can't be placed by holding down your mouse. Yeah, because it's just going to try and add the next one to the... Oh, jeez. Yeah. If you try and just click on it with your mouse, it's going to make it a double slab, even if you click on the side. So in that respect, it's not going to be working. You'd have to shift click in order to stop it interacting, which is a bit annoying. Yeah, I don't know how to go around that one. I guess if there was a way of detecting... Oh, yeah, actually. If we detected what block face we're clicking on the same slab, then we should be able to run the... Oh, geez, now we're getting really complicated, but it's definitely possible to do that, if that made any sense. Right, we need... I think it'll probably be in the experimental queries, but I'm sure there's ways of deciding what block it's looked at. Block neighbor has tags. Block neighbor has any tag. I guess takes a block, relative position, and one or more tag names and returns. So we could say if the block below, or the block we've clicked on, I guess, block has any tags, and we could tag it with what orientation it's facing in. Potentially. So let's just try that. We need to enable another experiment to make that work. But if we... What were we doing? Oh, when we're placing it. This is in the placement, isn't it? Yeah, if we gave each one of these a tag. So let's say when it's in this way, we're going to do it. Tag is facing... Or just we put tag north. North, for instance. Then I guess when we do the placement... Oh, yeah, on placed. Where's the placement thing? We could run a condition to decide... Oh, geez, it's going to get very complicated. If it's got a tag north... Oh, it's not that one, is it? It's this one. If the block had any tag, because we only want it to increment the layer if it's facing horizontal. Block has any tag. North. No, we want... Yeah, north. Let's just try it on the north one for now. In fact, let's do all of them, otherwise it's going to get confusing. Jeez. We need to put an OR statement in and surround it by brackets. So we're going to do... Block has any tag north, south, east, and west. I don't know if this will work. And then let's give each one of these rotations. Now, technically, in fact, no. We can do no. Easier than this. Don't need to do any of that. Let's get rid of all of that. We'll do block has any tag side place, and we'll put the tag side place on anything that's when it's on the side. No, that's not going to work either, because then it... Oh, geez. No, we need to work out what block face we clicked on. Right, forget that. Forget that. It's too complicated for live streams. Basically, what I'm trying to do is saying if we click on the side face of that, but that would come down to the block face property again. So we'd have to do Q block face is greater than 1. That might work. That might work. Might be a really simple way of doing it. You could use a script to check. I don't use scripts in Bedrock. I don't understand them. This is going to just stop us placing a slab against a slab. if we click it on the top. Yeah, so that works. And the bottom. So if we've got a slab up in the air and we want to place one below it, it's not going to create a double slab. So that works to stop us creating double slabs unless we're actually clicking on the side. However, that is going to do it on that side. So we need to have that query. Oh, geez, it would get very complicated. We'd have to have a different version of that query depending on which orientation that block was in, which means we'd need this Minecraft interact statement on every single block rotation, which actually is not a difficult thing to do. Let's put that in there. So if it's facing north, we want the block face is north. No, not is north. Otherwise, we put a slab against it. And we need to make sure that the block layer is 1 because we don't want this firing. Why did you make me get so complicated? So we'll take that interact statement out of there altogether. In fact, we don't even need that one at the moment, but we'll just leave that as it is. And we'll put this interact statement on all of these. So if it's not equals 3, 4, or 5. Let's find out. See if that works. Is there any way to add multiple hitboxes for a block? Not that I'm aware of. No. Didn't work. That worked. Oh, okay. So it's the total opposite of the way I've got it. Okay, so it's if it is equal that. So it's not if it's not equal. If it is equal. Jeez. We're getting very complicated here, peeps. This is way off what I was planning on doing for this. So let's have a go again. So if I click on the front of that, it will make it a double slab. But if I click on any of the other orientations, it shouldn't do that. So that's right. That's exactly what we wanted. That works. Amazing. But that doesn't make the blocks that we place next to them the right way round, which is a bit annoying. Permutations for blocks on the side should be limited to 4 and 4 faces right. Says, yeah, I guess so. So in order to detect what the block that we're clicking on is facing was that block tag thing. So this is where the tags was coming in. So I got a bit confused there. So let's just add tags into these. So tag north. Now I know this isn't technically correct, north, south, east and west, because of the way that it is, but it doesn't matter as long as it matches up with what we're doing at the other end. So now if we've got, when we place the block, we're not only querying what block face we're putting it on, we also need to find out if it's got a tag. So Q has any tag north, then we want it, if it's got a tag north, then we want this one to also be facing north, so we want to give it 1. Then, or if it doesn't have that tag, we need to have Q has any tag. Oh, we don't even need to put the equals 1 there. This is going to get very complicated very quickly because we're nesting logic statements now, which hurts my brain. So now we need to do has any tag south equals 2. Then we need to do has any tag east equals 3. Has any tag west equals 4. And if it doesn't have any of those, then choose whichever block face it's got. I don't think that's right. I don't think I've done that right, because technically all of those should be in brackets. That might work. It might work. Let's find out. The word complicated is being used way too much to simber it. Sorry. Oh no, it didn't work. Didn't like that. How are vertical slabs at the moment? They're nearly there. We're nearly there. So let me just write this in a way that it's not going to like, but just so I can understand it. So we've got... That looks fine to me, but clearly it's not. Let's try it with the brackets on. Maybe it's the... Did I write the right tag thing? Block has any tag. Well, there we go. That's probably why then. Block has any tag. Nope, I don't want that. I just want concrete stairs so bad. No, I don't like that. Doesn't like that. What's it tell me the problem is? Have I not got enough brackets? No, it just doesn't like it. Unrecognized token. Unrecognized token. I guess that means I'm not doing this tag. I've never used the block has any tag before, so I don't know exactly what it's... Oh, I know why. We haven't enabled the other experimental mode. This needs the Molang features experiment. Let's go back into our world settings, put on Molang features, click play, and hopefully now we won't get an error. It's a script like JavaScript and syntax logic, says somebody whose name's ridiculous. Oh, I thought it worked then. It did not. What was the problem? Block has any tag requires at least 4 parameters. It needs... so it's not just the one we're clicking on. X, Y, and Z? What? How do we know that? Oh, jeez. Because, yeah... Oh, man. That's not good for us. So that's no good. We just need to have... Oh, I don't want a history. What are you doing? Has any tag. Can we not do that on something else? Block neighbor has any tag. Text the block relative position and 1 or more tags. Let's try that then. I guess we can use relative positioning with that then. So block neighbor has any tag. Oh, but we don't know which block it is. I mean, it's not always going to be the block below, is it? We did... Oh, jeez. It'd be nice if we could just get that information from the one we're clicking on, which is what you get with the block face.
Chase Villarreal subscribe to the channel.
See, block property returns the associated block's state. That could be useful. Block property. Oh, no, that's the one we were... Oh, no, that's not going to work. I don't know. I don't think this is going to be easy or possible to do. Unless anyone knows Molang queries and knows if there's one to detect what way a block you're clicking on is rotated or has a tag. I don't think it's going to be possible. Query all tags. Turns this block has all tags specified. Oh, any tag. Let's try that. It might again want cursor locking at or something. Yeah, there's nothing like that. Cardinal player facing is the same. Place the block in that direction. Yeah, I don't want it to work on which way the player's facing. I want it to work on which which direction the block is facing, which I don't think we're going to get here. Right, well, we'll it's annoying. Yeah, no, we've just broken placing altogether now. Don't want a marketplace. No! That's annoying. Right, forget it. Forget it. We're just going to leave it how it was for now. And if I can come up with something that works off outside of this live stream, then I'll do that. But before we finish, or before we like move on, I want to try different oh man. Yeah, I want to try different blocks and different textures, because obviously rotated owl face was convinced that I need to change something, but we'll see, because these are sideways blocks, so they should in theory be sideways. Right, okay, we're leaving that as it is. We now need to do smooth stone slabs, so I'm gonna keep the, in fact, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. The geometry is going to be the same for all the different types of slabs. We don't need different geometries for different slabs. So let's just make the geometry name generic. We'll just call it slab vertical. Ooh. Slab vertical full and slab vertical. And then we're going to go into the blocks and make sure that we actually change that to match. So we got stone slab vertical full. We've got slab vertical full and slab vertical there. So now all we need to do is change the texture for different blocks, and that should work for all of the different blocks then. So let's do smooth stone slab vertical. Let's change the name there. Smooth stone slab vertical. Loot table smooth stone slab vertical. Then we need to make sure that we're holding the right type of slab in order to make it a double slab. And that should be all we need to change on that. And then we need to go back to our blocks and our terrain textures. And we need to add the smooth stone slab vertical. Now we need to find out in the Minecraft textures what is actually referred to as smooth stone. So let's go into the folder that we went to right back at the beginning of this stream, which is the Minecraft main textures files. We don't want item textures, we want terrain textures. And I think smooth stone was actually stone slab top or stone slab. Let's just see if we can find smooth stone. Smooth stone textures is stone slab top. Yeah, okay. Let's grab that then, and let's see if we can make these smooth stone double slabs. So we want to go back into our one, stone slab top there, and then we need to double up the blocks one. Smooth. Smooth stone slab. I don't think we need to do anything else. We need to make loot tables and stuff like that, obviously. But I just want to actually grab... Oh, jeez, I've lost my folder again. Give me my folders back. Stone slab top. I want to put into the textures folder. Don't need to put them in because I actually can refer to the Minecraft ones there. So yeah, that's how I would expect it to look as a single slab. So this could work. Smooth stone slabs don't combine. No, I know. So that's one of the things I wanted to do in this stream, is make the smooth stone slabs look right. Give AS F X and D smooth stone slab vertical. But now, how does a smooth stone slab actually look when we do the slabs horizontally? Because we want to match this as much as we can. So it doubles up in that way, like that. So we want to do the same thing with those, which means we probably are going to need separate block geometry for this so that we can get the texture in looking right. So let's just put those down next to each other. And that's actually got a border all the way around it. So we've got a stone slab side texture, which might be the better one to go with here. Let's go back to our block bench. Wrong one. Stone slab side texture gives us a weird front one, but that gives us the right sides. So now we're going to have to look at, is it possible to actually use different textures depending on what sides of the block we're going on? So we want the main texture for that stone slab side, but you'll see in blocks.json, the original one, I believe it's this, you can tell it what texture to use for which side of the block. So we're going to grab that there, go to our blocks textures, stick that in here, get rid of, I will put the stone slab vertical, we'll call that top there, and then stone slab vertical, oh geez, stone slab vertical side there. Let's get rid of that find and replace, don't need that. So I don't know if this works on custom blocks or not. It might do, it might not. And then we need to go back to terrain textures and make that stone slab vertical side, and then we want the other one for the top. Now this might not work, it might work, could all go crazy, who knows. Oof, didn't like that. Now that's probably because in our actual block file, we're actually telling it, we're not actually referring to the blocks JSON file. We're actually referring to these ones here, which could be a problem because we don't want that.
Dambu60
I wonder if we
subscribe
got
to the
rid
channel.
of that, it would refer to those files instead. Thank you very much. Thank you for subscribing. No, that's annoying. I don't think we're going to be able to get a different... Maybe we're allowed to do that in here, material instances. Possibly. I don't know. It's not shouted at us. But no, that didn't work at all. We're also affecting stone slabs vertical instead of the smooth stone slab vertical, which is not what I wanted to do. So let's actually do the right one. Now we've got a star here, which makes me think that there are different options that we can do, because that generally means that that's a wild card. That's saying put that texture on everything. So maybe we can put different material instances in this for the stuff, but I don't know a great deal about that. So let's just go to blocks. No, not biomes, blocks, and have a look at material instances. The material instances for blocks maps face or material instant names in a geometry file to actual material instance. Maps a face or material. I could really like I would really like a bit of tutorial for that one. Block texture variation. We don't want variations. Let's have a look at making custom grass blocks, because they've got... Oh, glass blocks. No, I don't want glass. Block materials. Is that going to help us? Texture render method. Texture. No, we don't want that. How do we get it so we've got it on different angles? Must be a way of doing it. I don't believe there's not a way of doing it. Let's have a look. There's a rotatable blocks thing here, so surely that one. Texture. Jeez. Here we go. We can have up and down on there. I was right. The star does mean something. Amazing. Perfect. So we just need to grab that then. And we'll have... Did we call it side? We did. So we just want top and bottom. So up and down to have the top and bottom. Up. Down. Hooray! Fingers crossed that's going to work. Check the PNG name. No, it's not that. It's my references to it is no good. Up and down refers to top and bottom of the vertical slab. There we go. I don't know why our stone slabs are broken now. I've clearly... Oh, there we go. That's why. Log out and log in again. But that will hopefully solve our little problem. Where would you feel most comfortable in a room that gives scary vibes? The corner or the middle? Weird thing to say. There we go. We've now got vertical double slabs. Amazing. The texture's rotated, which is a bit odd. But apart from that, that works. It's not rotated there. Or there. Or there. Or there. But it is on the other side. Ah, no, it's just when you've got the next one next to it, isn't it? So that looks right to me. Whereas if you've got that going on... That doesn't... Something weird about that, isn't there? There's something very weird about that. If I put that one there... Is that right? Have I done that right? Does that look right to you? It's because those aren't double slabs, says Eric Holbert. The texture's upside down, says Roth. It's 2 half slabs or the border between the block spaces. That looks right to me. It just looks... It does look weirdly like... It does look upside down. Which makes it look inverted. So how do I turn the textures the other way around? I guess I can rotate the block 180 degrees. Whoa. This might cause big problems. Find out. This might not do what we wanted it to do. Was I on the right block one then? Let me just check because I was fiddling with the stone. No, I'm not. I'm on the wrong one again. Jeez, I need to close that file and stop fiddling with it. Jeez. Right. We could change the texture in the geometry. That would probably help, but I don't know necessarily how we're going to get... I mean, if we move those to the top, is that going to make any difference? Because it's the same texture, isn't it? Somehow I keep thinking you're Jens. Why would you think I'm Jens? The dark line should be at the bottom, says Roth. I know. But unless we give it a whole new texture, I don't think that's going to work. I suppose we can try rotate the texture on here. Let's undo those changes I made there. Let's go back into that and let's see if I can flip the textures. Does that work? It's this side. Flip that like that. Is it bottom left it needs to be dark on, or is it bottom right? Flip the vertical in the geometry. Says, I'm doing it, Eric. I'm doing it. Hang on a moment. It's bottom right's got the darker side. Okay. The dark side. So that means I would guess then this side. Doesn't make any difference. Oh, I'm clicking the wrong bit because of course we've rotated the block. Oh, jeez. I've upset it now. Oh, it's that's all right. That's just the texture. Jeez, right. North. Which side's north? That one. So that needs to go that side. South then. No, which one's south? It's so weird. Not doing anything. What? This should be the south side. It is. Right, let's try that again. North. That's right. So this is east or west? That's east. And then west. I think that's uniform now, isn't it? On all sides. And the front and back don't make any difference because they're the same. So let's save that geometry. Oh, geez. I'm going to have to export it and then do a bit of copying and pasting because I don't want to overwrite what we've already got going on. Hello, Foxy. I'm late, says As Just Craft. Don't worry about it. It's all good. You can be here whenever you want to be. This is the reason I'm doing this on this channel. It's because I want, obviously, this to be available for people to watch on my YouTube channel. Right, next. Right, where we got? Slab vertical, slang vertical 2. This is the new one. And basically what I want to do is just steal all of the stuff out of that and put it in the new one. Where's slab vertical gone? No, I want it over there. I want it there. So it's just these UVs that's going to change. I don't think we need to change anything else. Root and origin's the same. Everything else is the same. So on this one, I'm going to do the same thing. Potentially. Well, that might mess up full blocks. We'll find out in a second. I'm somehow enjoying this coding streams is true. I'm glad. Whoa. I appear to have broken it. That's right. That would have been when I messed up with the second one then. So let's go back into that. Let's undo what I did to the second one. And let's just hope that still looks okay. We're getting there, peeps. We're getting there. There we go. That's better. It's the shadow's on the wrong side on the double one though. But on the non-double one, it's right. So we just need to do the texture on the full one, which is that one. No, it's not. Why is that not a full one? I'm sure we already did this once. There we go. Oh no, it's not how we want the full slab to look, is it? Oh, jeez. My brain's hurting, peeps. My brain's seriously hurting. How did we do it before? What? I guess it's just... I'm so confused what we're doing here. Do you know what? I'm going to make life a bit easier for myself here. I'm just going to make 2 cubes. And then just have one next to the other one. That might work. Might work. Might not. Time for a quick dance break to clear the mind. Yeah, I think I could do with the break. I think my mind has gone to fuzz with this. There we go. That's better. So if I extend that one now. There we go. There we go. Amazing. We now have vertical slabs. Kinda. That we... they're almost good. They're almost good. They're just... They don't face the right way when you put them on other blocks, which is really annoying. I would like them to. But I don't know how to do it. But that's looking right now. Oh, I'm happy with that. We're all good with those. So therefore, I don't think there's any... I know we haven't done all of the loot tables and stuff for the other slabs, but you've seen the basics. You've seen how it works. I don't think it would be too difficult to apply this to everything else. Make it be waterlogged. I don't know if it's possible to waterlog... Oh, it is. There you go. It's waterlogged. Oh, no, it's a normal slab. I don't know if it's possible to waterlog custom blocks. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's go back to here. Is there any waterlogged? No. I don't think it's going to be possible to do that then. Which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, I think... can you share that add-on on your Discord? Well, what I'm going to do, John, is I'm going to work on this in my spare time and get it as good as I can. I really want to make it so that we can detect what the block it's being placed on is facing and get it to go in the same orientation as that. And if I can do that, then I'll put it out for download on my website. If I can't do that, then I will put it out for a download on my website with a big explainer on there going, it's almost there, mate. It's kind of good. As long as you're placing them all in that orientation. Since I don't know what's going on, it's nice to know you kind of don't either. I kind of do, but I'm learning as I go with a lot of these things. So I think we've proven today why Mojang probably haven't done vertical slabs. And there's a few reasons for that. One is, obviously, it's a nightmare trying to decide where to put the next one. And two, just placing it on the ground. If you put a normal slab on the ground, you don't have to worry about its orientation. You're just placing it on the ground and you're placing ones next to it and you can detect which side it's being placed on quite easily. With the vertical slabs, when I place that on the ground, it's always going to place in that same place. Doesn't matter which part of the block I'm clicking on. And there's no way of doing anything that with add-ons. What I could do is I could say if I'm facing in that direction, then face it on that side of the block, which would probably make sense, but then it's getting very complicated. Oh, my mouse is running out of battery. Oh no, it's my keyboard. Where's my USB wire? Now, Mojang obviously can detect that because they can do it with stairs, but we don't have that. So, could you steal some logic from stairs, as Jeruzza? There's no access to the vanilla. If I had access to the vanilla block files, all of this would be dead easy, but there's none. So I'm having to make it up as I go along. I got no one to copy from. Hey, mates! So, yeah. I think... unless you guys can think of anything I've missed or forgotten or you think would be good, I think I'm happy with this vertical slabs pack. Another one I'm thinking of, and I'm probably going to do this as well, is basically wallpaper. So because we can do this, right? What if I made an add-on that made any block in the game, potentially, not necessarily any block because some of them have weird faces, but made it that I could put it on the wall as wallpaper. The only problem is they wouldn't be able to meet in the middle, but you could make it one pixel thin, like our placeable items, and then you could put wallpaper on all of your walls, providing you only had it on one wall. Can a piston push it? That's a good point. I think you can change them to be pushable. I think there is a pushable thing on here. Unwalkable, unit cube. I don't know what that means. Ticking, rotation, random ticking, placement filter, part visibility. Materials is map color, loot, geometry, friction. We can change the friction on it. Flammable, explosion resistance. I haven't done any of that. Display name, destroy time, creative category. That'd be useful. Crafting table, breathability, block collision, aim collision. Oh, maybe not. I thought there was a pushable thing. I don't know whether there are pushable by pistons. Let's find out. Let's find out. Let's get some redstone. Let's get a lever. Let's pop it down there. Let's see if we can push our double slabs. We can. What about a single one? Oh, I can't reach me lever. We can. They're pushable by pistons. I don't know what happened to my block with Minecraft Rotate, but it error in my blocks, says John Gaming. Oh, man. You can only have rotate at 90-degree angles, so maybe that you've put a different angle in there. The wallpaper thing could be done with entities, so you can place more than one on the same block. Yes, but then you would have a ridiculous amount of lag in your world, because don't forget, you only need 20, 30 entities in an area, and then mobile devices are going to struggle. Make that 50, 60, then, you know, other devices are starting to struggle as well. So entities for that sort of thing are not a good idea. If you're using large-scale decorating and stuff like that, then entities is a very bad idea, which is why it would be better being custom blocks. Right, peeps, unless you got anything else that you would like to bring to this this add-on tutorial showcase, I'm going to call it a day there. And I'm going to say thank you all very much for watching. And I'll see you all in the next one, I guess. I think, don't quote me on this, but I think I'm going to be doing a Truly Bedrock stream this evening over on Twitch. Oh, no, that'll be on this channel as well, I guess. But I'm not sure yet. We'll have to see how the day goes. Can you connected the Sal? Can you connected the Sal? What? Just need a corner shape. You could do corner shapes. Thank you for your stream and your patience with my shenanigans. 2 different slabs in one block. No, it's not possible. No. No logic to do that. You'd have to have you would literally have to, your block file would have to be as long as how many different slabs you've got, and you'd have to have a different geometry and texture for each combination. So it'd be a nightmare. It's possible, but it'd be ridiculous. Can you connect the slab to slab-like stair? Can you connect the slab to slab-like stair? What? I don't know what you mean. Right, on that note, it's time to go. Thank you for watching. See you later.